What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Detroit Lions video. Now, the Detroit Lions will have a new quarterback in 2021, and by all accounts and from everything, it looks as though Jared Goff will be that future quarterback. And in today's video, as we do have a new quarterback under center, we do have a new face of the franchise, and we do have somebody new in the building at the most important position. I wanted to go over Jared Goff today, as we've gone over numerous different quarterback prospects in the draft. We've done it for Wilson, we've done it for Lance, and today we are going to be taking a look at the future franchise quarterback, Jared Goff. Now, in today's video, I want to take a look at his strengths, his weaknesses, what he does well, what he's accomplished so far in the NFL, and really get a deep breakdown and really get a good analysis on what our next and what our future quarterback looks like for the Detroit Lions and what we should expect from him going into the 2021 season. Now, before we get into the video, if you are new to the channel and are enjoying this Detroit Lions content, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It takes just 2 seconds out of your day to do so. Helps the channel out more than you could know. I'd be super appreciative for it. But with all that being said, without any further ado, let's get into breaking down Jared Goff, the next quarterback of the Detroit Lions. Now, Jared Goff is he's a good quarterback in the NFL, and I think even his most critical critics will tell you that he is at least average in the NFL. Now, Jared Goff is the prototypical size. He has the prototypical size that you're looking for out of a franchise quarterback. Jared Goff right now stands at 6'4", 222 pounds, which is pretty ideal for a quarterback. That's pretty ideal size of what you're looking for. Jared Goff is a 2-time Pro Bowler in the NFL in the years 2017 and 2018. Jared Goff has one Super Bowl appearance as the quarterback, as he was the starting quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams in Super Bowl 53. Jared Goff, throughout his short time in the NFL, has amassed 18,171 passing yards with 107 passing touchdowns to only 55 interceptions. Now, Jared Goff, while not a scrambling quarterback per se, has gotten into the end zone a couple of times in his career, as in his first 5 seasons, Jared Goff has amassed 314 rushing yards. However, he does have 10 rushing touchdowns, which is pretty decent considering he's not really a mobile quarterback. Now, last season, Jared Goff in the 2020 season was okay for the Los Angeles Rams, ended up playing in 15 games, missed the final game of the season with a broken thumb. Jared Goff in his 15 games, though, did pass for 3,952 passing yards with 20 passing touchdowns to 13 interceptions. In the playoff race last year, in their short playoff run, Jared Goff threw for 329 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. He played very clean, very efficient football, and while it might not be the flashiest numbers by Jared Goff, he did what was asked of him, and he did what was needed from him in order to get the job done in Seattle, and I think he did enough. If the defense was able to stop Green Bay a little better, I think Jared Goff played efficient enough in Green Bay to help the Rams get to where they want to be. Unfortunately, the result didn't work out in their favor. However, I thought Jared Goff played decent in the playoffs, and overall, I think he's just a very decent quarterback in the NFL. Now, getting on to Jared Goff's strengths, because as much as people don't like Jared Goff, as much as people say, oh, he can't read the field, oh, he can't do this without Sean McVay, he can't do that without Sean McVay, Jared Goff does have quite a few strengths. There is a reason that Jared Goff was selected as the #1 overall pick in his respected draft class. It is because Jared Goff is a talented quarterback, and I think a lot of his strengths are the physical strengths and the physical things that he can do on the football field. One thing that I noticed a lot about Jared Goff is that he is pretty accurate as a quarterback. Last season alone, Jared Goff had 78.3% of his passes were on target, meaning it was a catchable pass for the wide receiver. That 78.3 ranked 11th in the NFL, only 0.1% behind the 10th place guy and only 0.3% behind the 9th place person. Jared Goff last year was a very accurate quarterback. A lot of the passes he threw were on target. A lot of the passes where they needed to be. They were on target. They were catchable, but they were catchable passes. However, Jared Goff's completion percentage wasn't crazy. Jared Goff only had a 67.6% completion percentage on the season, which is okay. It's not a bad completion percentage, but you would like to see it a little bit higher as a franchise quarterback. However, when you look at Jared Goff's pass attempts, 24 of his passes were thrown away, and 26 of them were dropped. Those 24 throwaways ranked 4th highest in the NFL, and those 26 drops ranked 8th highest in the NFL. So Jared Goff generally was an accurate quarterback this season. If you needed the ball placed where a wide receiver could catch it, Jared Goff is going to get the football there. And Jared Goff is an accurate quarterback when the ball comes out of his hands. Jared Goff, when he makes the right read, when he makes the right decision, he has the arm talent and the accuracy to make the right throw. And generally, when he makes the decision, when he makes the right decision, when he makes the right read and decides to throw the football, more times than not, it is a good, solid, quality throw that gives the wide receiver a good chance to go up and get the football and gives the wide receiver a good chance to come down with the reception. Another thing that I really like about Jared Goff is he does have pretty good arm strength. Now, I'm not going to say he's quite as strong as Matt Stafford, but I will say Jared Goff has more than enough arm talent to be successful in the NFL. In 2019, Jared Goff ranks 6th in the NFL in completed air yards with 2,388 completed air yards. So that's just the yards that he threw for. That's not yak. That's not anything after the catch. That's not, anything, that's not anything after the catch. That's nothing their wide receivers did. That is strictly the distance that he threw over or in 2019. And in 2018, the year prior, he was 3rd in the NFL in completed air yards with 2,562. So Jared Goff does have the ability. He has the arm strength and the accuracy to push the ball down the field effectively when he is asked to do so. And when he was asked to do so in LA, he was generally pretty good at it. Genuinely, I think Jared Goff is a pretty good deep ball passer. A lot of his physical strengths and a lot of Jared Goff's strengths coming into Detroit are his physical ones, his size, his arm talent, his accuracy. All of that stuff is an NFL caliber quarterback. All of those skills, all of those strengths make him an NFL quality quarterback. And, based on his arm strength and based on his arm talent, Jared Goff can be effective in the NFL. He can throw it down the field. He can throw it accurately at pretty much every single level. And the only thing that slowed him down after the years, 2018 was fantastic at completed air yards. 2019 was a step back. 2020 was a step back from that. The only reason he's taking these steps back is because Sean McVay didn't want to use Jared Goff the same way, and Sean McVay gave Jared Goff less and less opportunities every year to go deep down the field, which obviously affected his numbers greatly. Now, with that being the case, obviously Jared Goff, as I said, has a lot of very good physical traits. His strengths to me, are very physical, right? His arm strength, his arm talent, the things that he can do with the football and the places he can place the football are very impressive, and that talent alone will win you football games. However, his weaknesses are just as damaging to a football team, and his weaknesses alone can lose you football games. Now, to me, Jared Goff's weaknesses come with the mental side of the game. To me, Jared Goff is very slow with play recognition, especially when it comes to post-snap recognition. So, with Sean McVay would tell him what it was pre-snap, he'd tell him the coverage, what he thought it was in, he'd tell him where to throw the pass. If the defense changes that up, if the defense changes something post-snap, they roll to a different coverage, they look like they're in cover 1, and then they roll to cover 2 or something like that, Jared Goff generally doesn't know what to do with that. Jared Goff continuously gets flustered, he continuously gets confused by changing defenses, and when it comes to the post-snap, reading post-snap defenses to, either justify what he saw pre-snap or change the play and change his thinking post-snap, Jared Goff does struggle with that, and that is something that Jared Goff in his 5th, 6th season by now should be able to fix and should have fixed at the NFL level, but it's just something he hasn't really been able to grasp before. Another thing, I think the game moves kind of fast for him, and he doesn't quite process things exactly as fast as you'd like to see. There was a sack, the strip sack and the fumble recovery that was returned for a touchdown against Miami. There was a really good example of that right there where, the Miami Dolphins had 6 guys on the line. The Los Angeles Rams had 5 protectors. Jared Goff then needs to realize that one of those guys is coming. One of those guys will be a free rusher, and he needs to get rid of the ball quick. But for whatever reason, he held onto the ball a little long. The free rusher got to him, forced the fumble, and they returned it for a touchdown. Those are the mental lapses that are going to cost you football games, and those are the mental lapses that cost the Rams not only the Jets game, they cost the Rams that Miami game. They cost the Rams a bunch of games because Jared Goff was just a little slow at processing what he saw post-snap. And to me, that is the biggest thing that that is the biggest thing that Anthony Lynn and Dan Campbell will have to work on, is Jared Goff's mental side of the game, because he has the tools to be successful from the physical standpoint, but from the mental side of the game, recognizing pre-snap, recognizing post-snap, recognizing changes in coverage, maybe if something changes after the snap you weren't expecting, being able to react and still have a good play. Just reading the field and reacting quicker than he is currently doing. That is what his biggest weakness is right now. And that is the biggest thing the Lions need to fix, and the biggest thing the Lions need to work with him on if they want him to become a successful quarterback. And another thing that I think Jared Goff is very reliant on in the NFL is he does need the right system to be good. Jared Goff is not Matthew Stafford. You're not going to just throw him out there, say, go make 50 passes a game and go win us a football game. Jared Goff is not on the level of Matt Stafford, and Jared Goff does need the right pieces and the right play callers around him for the team to be successful. You look at Sean McVay versus Jeff Fisher. Right under Jeff Fisher, the Rams were atrocious, and Jared Goff looked like one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. And granted, Jeff Fisher, not a great head coach, kind of an idiot, but Jeff Fisher made Jared Goff look horrendous. Sean McVay came in not even a full year later and made Jared Goff look like the franchise quarterback he could be. And the year after that, he took the Rams to the Super Bowl under Jared Goff in his 4,600 passing yards. In the right system, Jared Goff can be good. In the right system, a system that prioritizes running the football, play action, bootlegs, getting Jared Goff moving, getting him rolling out, getting him moving around, giving him easy, quick decisions, throws on the run, things that he is good at and things that he is comfortable at, that will make your offense successful if you're the Detroit Lions. You do not want Jared Goff taking shotgun passes, taking 3 to 5 steps, dropping back and firing. You want pre-snap motion. You want a successful run game. If you're Jared Goff, you succeed with play action and a solid run game and rolling out and moving and making easy, quick decisions. Those are the things Jared Goff excels at, and those are the things the Lions will need to prioritize with Jared Goff under center. As I said yesterday, Jared Goff is not a bad quarterback, and I will emphasize it again. Jared Goff is not a bad quarterback. Is he great? He is not. Is he better than Matt Stafford? He is not. But by no means is Jared Goff a bad quarterback in the NFL, and by no means is Jared Goff a quarterback that you cannot win with. Jared Goff is a solid NFL quarterback. He is an average NFL quarterback, and he can be a quality starter in the NFL for many, many years if given the proper system, the proper tools, and the right people around him. Jared Goff has the physical skills to be great. He has all the ability to be the franchise quarterback that the Lions need him to be. However, there are some big weaknesses that the Lions, that Dan Campbell, that Anthony Lynn, that the quarterbacks coach will need to fix and will need to work with him on in the coming seasons. Now, with all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Again, this is kind of a breakdown on our next quarterback, our breakdown on Jared Goff. I really wanted to go in depth, take a look at it, because I know a lot of people aren't super excited about Jared Goff. A lot of people think, oh, it's just a downgrade. Oh, we just got him because, we got our 2 picks, or we got our 3 picks because we're taking out his contract and that's all he's here for. Jared Goff can be a quality starter in the NFL. Jared Goff can be a good quarterback at the NFL level. That is not a question. The question is, with Jared Goff coming to Detroit, will he find success like he had in LA? Will Anthony Lynn be able to come up with a system to help Jared Goff play to his strengths? I think they will, based on what I saw in LA last season with the Chargers. I do believe Anthony Lynn will be able to come up with a system to help Jared Goff be successful like he was with the Rams. So from that standpoint, I think we still have a good offensive coordinator. I think we have a guy that understands players play differently. You saw the offense in the Chargers change from, Tyrod to Herbert. You saw the offense change there. So I think Anthony Lynn understands every single quarterback is different. Every single quarterback has strengths and weaknesses. From what I've seen, Anthony Lynn is usually able to play to those quarterback strengths and make them generally successful in his offense. And I don't think Jared Goff is going to be the exception to that. This is a solid quarterback quarterback for Detroit. Is he Matt Stafford? No. Is he a top 15 quarterback in the NFL? No. But Jared Goff, in the right system, has all the tools to be successful and take your team to where it wants to be. Jared Goff is far from the worst quarterback in the NFL. He's far from the worst quarterback in the NFC. And in my opinion, he's still the second best quarterback in the North. So with all that being said, though, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about our new quarterback. Do you believe he's going to have success with a new change of scenery? Do you think he's going to have a Ryan Tannehill-esque arc where he's going to, go from Miami to, obviously, Tannehill went from Miami to Tennessee and got a lot better with a simpler offense? Do you think Jared Goff could do the same thing from going to LA to Detroit, finding a new offensive system and making it work? Or do you think he's going to bust in Detroit and think he's not going to be what Brad Holmes and the rest of the staff sees in him? Let me know that down in the comments below. I'd be very interested to hear what you guys think about Jared Goff. But with all that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching the video, and I will see you all tomorrow with more content. Thank you all for watching. Bye, guys.